Show you some videos about actually installing casing in a water well. I have a bunch of questions that people generally ask about casing, and I'm going to kind of go through some of those over here on the computer screen. So the first question, probably the most common question I get, and this is going to be quite a shocker, but what is well casing? So this is well casing. Well casing is basically a pipe. PVC pipe is generally used today. You can see it. It's just under 7 inches in diameter on the outside. Interior diameter is 6 1/8 or 6.125 inches. It's pretty robust, pretty heavy. It serves a vital part in the overall longevity of the well. It's PVC, it's plastic. The pipes come in 20-foot sections. How are they put together? They put together typically with a slip joint. One end has a female end, one end has a male end. Each end gets glue put in it, and then the joints are pushed together. Another question people ask is, okay, why is casing normally used in the drilling process? Casing actually supports the exterior wall of the well down to bedrock. And the reason for this is bedrock itself is a stable formation that does not cave in, that can keep itself open on its own. Formations such as sand, gravel, silt, clay, those are what's called unconsolidated or unstable formations, especially when they're in the water table and they're wet. They have a tendency to cave in on themselves. So the purpose of the casing is to keep the hole open and to seal off any of the clay, sand, silt, unconsolidated formations from entering your well. Also, the casing serves as a support structure for your pump. Once your well is completed, the flow rate is known, a pump will be installed in your well, and an actual well seal that supports the pump sits on top of the casing. Probably the next biggest question we get asked all the time is, how much casing do you have to run? How deep does the casing go? It's going to sound like a very vague answer, but the answer is casing goes down to bedrock. Every well is different. We see wells that can be just a couple 100 feet apart and have different leaks of casing from 20 to 30 feet different. On average, I would say around the upstate and the foothills of North Carolina, we tend to run about 80 feet of casing. At the minimum, we run 20 feet. Then some places we ran all the way up to 180 feet. Every well's different, so to answer that question, we run casing till we get down to bedrock, till we reach a formation that is solid enough to keep itself open and to make sure your well is a properly functioning well that does not have contaminants, clay, sand, or silt, or anything that may fall off in the well and give you problems in the future when you're using your well.